Hi, everyone, and welcome. Today, we'll walk through how an early stage product moved from uncertainty to confident decisions through user testing with Useberry. You'll see what they needed to validate, how they ran the study, and what they learned from users. And what's interesting here is that the outcome wasn't about making big changes, but about confirming they were on the right track and moving forward with confidence. Let me first introduce our speakers. Denitsa is a UI UX designer and co founder of Workapp, where she led the full product design and validation process end to end. Magdalena is a senior UX designer at Bitcoin Swiss and a mentor at Mentor the Young Bulgaria, where she worked closely with Denitsa. Through that mentorship, Magdalena guided Denitsa through the full UX cycle from research to validation and supported her in structuring and running user testing with Useberry. Together, they combined hands on execution with a clear validation approach to move from assumptions to content product decisions.
I'm Denitsa and I'm a co-founder of Workapp. The other one is my boyfriend, who is a full stack developer. We created the idea of Workapp for easy task management for freelancers and small agencies. At the beginning, I was thinking this will be an easy job. And then I applied to this mentorship program and met Magdalena, and she completely turned around my idea of how the UX process really looks like.
My name is Magdalena. I'm from Bulgaria, just as Denitsa, but I live in the last 10 years in Slovakia, in Bratislava. Here I work as a senior UX designer in Bitcoin Swiss. It's a crypto trading platform. And I started also mentoring at Mentor the Young in Bulgaria, where, as Denitsa said, we met.
At the beginning, we started with the main process. We defined our key features, users, so we run some competitor analysis, then take the wireframes all the way to designing the main flow with design system and everything. Then we move up to the Useberry testing on the main user flow from create task to completed task. Actually, from login to completed task, but that was just later I'll show some results and how the product actually looks like.
During the mentorship program, we wanted to validate the design with real users. And I suggested to Denitsa that a really good tool to use is Useberry because I had in the past some experience with it. We got really nice insights. It was really easy for use and we all loved it. So I told Denitsa this is a really nice tool and we can do a quick validation test.
For the test, I actually used the responsive Figma prototype I have, and I placed it in Useberry. We validated the main flow of the most important part. So I just wanted to know if anybody can use it. So I run the test with 10 people, which I chose intentionally to be different. Two owners of small agencies, some people from marketing, design, and development industry, and I run the test with some random people who have nothing to do with design or IT at all, because that's the way you got the best results from people who are not already familiar with this type of tool. So we started with creating single tasks for each step. The first one was to log in into the platform, which is easy, but it's a nice starting point. Then the create project, I placed some short instructions for everything because there are many tasks here for every step. Here you can just create your task from the button here and then go to the form where you have two steps for inviting members and then continue to creating your new project. Another really useful thing I did with this test is I used the Useberry live review to make some tests in person. Someone sitting right next to me and take the test, and I was just looking at him where he felt confused, which task takes more time, and this way I found out two things that I need to fix a little bit. Here are the results. You can see that we have 100% completion from the 10 users that took the test, and overall average time from 6 minutes and 35. So I think that's great for this test. The two tasks who took a bit more time were the last ones for marking the task as completed and to delete this task from your board. At the beginning, I added only this path. Here you have a checkbox and you need to check it to mark the task as completed. But I found out that some people felt confused about that. So I added here a quick status change in the task's details.
So, Danny, did you had any interesting findings?
Actually, the one person who did worst at this test was one of my colleagues who is a developer, and I don't know how. I was looking at him, and he didn't found the big black button at the right. But one of my other colleagues, who is a designer, he told me while I was taking the test, it was like there were arrows pointing me to the button that I need to click.
What improved because of the testing? Was it your confidence? Was it the speed? Was it avoiding rework? Perhaps.
Actually, was really my confidence and definitely avoiding rework. We'll for sure be continue testing the other features we add in the future. The one thing I can recommend is just they should respect the process. They should go through everything, especially if they're building something for the first time. They should go through everything because this platform looks like that, and the results from the usability test are looking like that because of the process. Because every step we did was the right one. I really learned much from this, and this is what I can tell to the early founders. Don't rush. If you rush it, you end up losing more time than just go through all of it from the beginning.
Perfect. So, Magdalena, what would you recommend to designers running their first test?
I would definitely recommend for every single designer to run a test to start with a product like Useberry because it's really eye-opening experience. You need to validate your designs. You need to know what are your actual users doing and how they react and respond to your product because otherwise you cannot just design for the stakeholders or for yourself. You actually need to design for the real users. And this is the only way how you can validate this. Don't be scared, but always ask for feedback, do your research, because you will find a lot of things from your users.